Hi friends, today we are going to discuss the biology question paper SSLC March 2020. So I know the questions are so simple and you can easily write the answer. Anyway, we just look all these questions. First question, the process that leads to formation of impulse in photoreceptor is. So this question is from first unit and you have given four options and you need to pick the right one. So A option, the dissociation of visual pigments in presence of light. B option, formation of vitamin A in presence of light. C option, transmission of impulse to cerebrum through the optic nerve. And fourth option, the reunion of retinal and opsin. You know that impulse formation occurs in photoreceptor in the presence of light due to dissociation of visual pigments. So A option is the right answer. And during or in the presence of light, you know that both the rhodopsin as well as photopsin dissociate into retinal and opsin. Along with that process, impulse are also formed. So A option is the correct answer, the dissociation of visual pigments in the presence of light. Let's look about the second question. What are indicated by 1 and 2 in the illustration of DNA molecule given below? So this question is from genetics chapter and DNA structure is given, one nucleotide is given and one of the nitrogen base are given, that is indicated by C, that is cytosine. So the opposite one is guanine. So the first one is guanine and second one that is associated with the sugar, so it is phosphate. So the first one is guanine, second one is phosphate. Then the third question, analyze the given symptom and identify the disease. So you need to write the disease name only. You are given with three symptoms: low metabolic rate, hypertension, inflammation in tissue. So this is from the chapter 3, okay, hormone chapter. So this disease is hypothyroidism. You know that low production of thyroxine leads to all these type of symptoms. You can write hypothyroidism or you can specify the disease, either myxedema or cretinism. So you can write hypothyroidism, it's a correct answer. Myxedema or cretinism is also right one. And fourth question, based on the given model, make a suitable pair in the following box. So a model is given, Charles Darwin, the theory of natural selection. So you know the relationship between Charles Darwin and theory of natural selection. The theory of natural selection is proposed by Charles Darwin. So in this manner we have to choose a pair from the given box. Hugo de Vries is given, so you can easily pick Hugo de Vries with the mutation theory. Hugo de Vries proposed mutation theory. Look about any other pair. Lamarck is given but there is no acquired character theory. Chemical evolution is given, there is no Oparin and Haldane. Robert Malthus is there is no population theory. So we can only pick one option, Hugo de Vries hyphen mutation theory. Then the fifth question, in plants, which is the chemical substance that prevent germs that have crossed the cell wall from entering the cell membrane? So you know that it is from plant hormone section, plant defense section. So the correct answer is callose. You know that callose is a polysaccharide seen inside the cell. It prevents the entry of germs into the cell. So callose is the right answer. So that's about the fifth question. Let's look about the sixth question. Select the correct pair from the following option. Junk genes, you know that junk genes are non-functional genes, so it is not the correct answer. Interferons, you know that interferons are used to destroy virus, so it is not the correct answer. Then endorphin is given, you know that endorphin is a painkiller, so it is not the correct answer. So there is only one correct answer, that is genome, the complete genetic material present in organism. So third one is the correct one. Then look about the seventh question, suitably arrange the information under the given heading. So you are given with the two column, brain and spinal cord, and you need to arrange the four option in respective column. Evoke sensation, it's a characteristic of brain. Okay, so evoke sensation comes under brain. Coordinate the repeated movements during walking and running, it comes under spinal cord. impulse from different parts of the body are transmitted to and from the brain. It is again comes under spinal cord. Then coordinate muscular activity and maintain equilibrium of the body, that is comes under brain. So in this way you can write. Then eighth question, analyze the following illustration and answer the question. So this is from the last chapter. Bacteria and human beings are given, and energy is stored in ATP molecule. Genes determine the hereditary rate. What proof of evolution does the illustration give? It gives biochemistry and physiology. And you can also write this above picture indicate the a relationship between simple organism and a complex organism. Okay. Then the second question is there, does the study of homologous organ give similar proof and how? So you know that homologous organs are the organs that have same internal structure and different external structures. Why this external structure is different? You also know that due to different habitat. So homologous organs indicate a common ancestor. That is why they have the same internal structure, but due to different habitat they survive and they change their external appearances. That was said by Darwin. So in this way you can write the answer. So the study of homologous organ give the similar proof. Yes, how? You can write it indicate a common relationship. That is why they have same internal structure, and due to different habitat they have different external structure. It is exact proof for Charles Darwin theory of natural selection theory. So in this way you can write this answer. Then you look about the ninth question. Analyze the following statement related to certain diseases and give the reasons for each. So you have to give the reasons. So a question, in hepatitis, dark yellow color appears in white portion of the eye and nails. So you know that hepatitis is caused by hepatitis virus. When this virus enter into the body, it block bile production. So already released bile concentration will be increased in blood. Bile have a pigment called bilirubin. It is yellowish in color. So when bile concentration increase, bilirubin concentration also increases in blood. As a result, blood have high white yellowish pigment. That is why the whitish portion of our body like cornea of the eye as well as nail become yellow in color. Okay. And B question, in diphtheria, an ash colored thick coating forms in the throat. And you also know that diphtheria is caused by Corynebacterium diphtheriae. When they enter into our body, it will attack our mucus gland on throat as well as nose. So within 3 to 4 days, infection will happens in our mucus gland and soft tissues on our throat as well as nose. As a result, an ash colored thick coating will appear. Okay. Then the 10th question, from this picture itself you can see its question from first chapter. And name the part indicated as 1. So 1 is axon. You know that myelin sheath is always we can see in around axons. Then second question, how does myelin sheath form? You know that myelin sheath are formed by Schwann cells. When the Schwann cells repeatedly encircle the axons together with a protein called myelin, it forms myelin sheath. 11th question, match the column question. A and B columns are given. Sex chromosome, that is X and Y. Somatic chromosomes, that is 22 pairs. Chromosomes in sperms, that is 22 plus X, 22 plus Y. Chromosomes in ovum, that is 22 plus X. Okay. Then 12th question, and the functions of cells in specific defense are illustrated below. Identify 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is from lymphocyte. T lymphocytes are given, so the first one should be B lymphocyte. Then T lymphocyte, where T lymphocyte is matured, that was the second one. So maturation happens in the thymus gland. So that was the second one, maturation in the thymus gland. Then third one, destroy cancer cell, that was the function of T lymphocyte. So you need to write another function of T lymphocyte, that was the third one. So you can write it destroy virus infected cells. And in the same manner, B lymphocyte functions are given, neutralize the toxins of antigen. So fourth one, you can write another function of B lymphocyte. You can write it produce antibodies against antigen. So that's all about 12th questions. Then look about 13th question. Analyze the following statement and answer the question. Through hemophilia, it's not completely curable. Temporary relief can bring in. How temporary relief can bring in? You know that hemophilia is a genetic disease. It is a absence of blood clotting disease. It is happens due to absence of certain plasma proteins due to gene defects. So we can bring temporary relief by inserting, first identify the defective gene and inserting that defective gene or supplementing proteins. So we can only supplement the proteins. Absent the protein, we can supplement through tablets or in the form of injection. So in this way we can bring about temporary relief. There is another question, why complete cure is not possible? It is not possible because it is a genetic disease. So genetic diseases are not completely curable. Then the 14th question, observe the given steps related to the experience of thirst and allergy, test and arrange them properly. You can write, you can see the markings because I collected this question paper from one of my students. So the first option should be substance responsible for taste dissolve in saliva. Second one, substance reach the taste bud through saliva. Third one, the taste detecting chemoreceptors are stimulated. Fourth one, impulse form in the chemical receptors. Then the next one, impulse reach the brain through the nerves. And the last one, forms the experience of taste. 15th question, analyze the part of illustration related to genetic engineering. So this is from the 7th chapter and arrange the following question. Insulin production. Insulin producing gene with the plasmid and plasmid with insulin producing gene is given. And add further steps and complete the illustration. You know that plasmid with insulin producing genes are inserted into bacteria. So the next step are inserted into bacteria. Then the next step, allow the bacteria for cultivation or allow them to grow. Then the next step, the growing bacteria will multiply by binary fission and produce new bacteria. All these bacteria produce insulin, but it is inactive insulin and make them active. You know that disulfide bond is essential for active insulin preparation. Bacteria producing insulin not have disulfide bond, so we can artificially make this disulfide bond to make them active. B question, mention any other advantages of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering have lots of advantages. You know that by genetic engineering we can make desirable quality providing plants and animals, and we can improve our medicinal field by incorporating gene therapy, gene mapping, DNA fingerprinting. All these are advantages of genetic engineering. Then the 16th question, a hybridization experiment is given between a tall round seeded plant with a dwarf ringed seeded plant. Its illustration are given. So the first question, identify and fill 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 will be the gamete. So the first gamete is capital T capital R and second gamete is small t small r. Then the B question is there, what may be the characters that will appear in the plants produced as a result of self-pollination of first generation. So what is the character? First generation have tall round seeded plant. Okay, tall round seeded plant. That's all about the 16th question. Let's look about the 17th question. Write a short note which explain the mode of transmission and the precautions of rat fever to include a pamphlet preparing for awareness program. So you need a short notes on rat fever or leptospirosis. So you can write leptospirosis is a bacterial disease. It is caused by a bacteria called leptospira, and normally this leptospira is present in rat and some rat-like mammals like squirrels, and through their urine as well as saliva it comes out, and when it is comes out and it is stay on stagnant water and moist condition for several days, and during that time and men interfere with or men touches with that stagnant water or touch with their urine saliva in the moist atmosphere, through wound this leptospira can easily enter into human body, and it mainly affect the blood vessels and break the blood vessels. So internal bleeding will happen, shivering will happen, and redness in eye is the prominent symptom of this disease. So the mode of transmission is through urine as well as saliva of rat, squirrels, like that. In precautions, self hygiene is major precaution, and avoid contact with these type of mammals, and do not we can always use chapels to prevent their entry. And if a person have wound on their foot, and cover them with the proper medicines precautions, and otherwise this leptospira can easily enter. So in this way you can elaborate this answer. And 18th question is from reflex arc. Write the names of 1 and 2. So 1 will be sensory neuron and 2 will be the mixed neuron. And B question, all accidental responses are controlled by 3. So 3 is indicated by spinal cord. So all accidental responses are controlled by 3 is the question. So you can write yes, all accidental responses are controlled by spinal cord. Explain with an example. So you can write an example for reflex arc by when we touch a hot object, or when we touch a cold object, or when we touch a sharp object, what happens? Sensory neurons carry the impulses and transfer them to the spinal cord, and from the spinal cord through interneuron it reaches brain, processing happening. From the brain it again enter into the spinal cord through mixed neuron. From the spinal cord it enter into motor neurons and to the related muscle, and response will happens. So all the accidental responses are controlled by spinal cord, because you know that 31 pairs of spinal nerves are originated from spinal cord to various parts of the body. So quick transfer of information is possible there. Then 19th question, it's from evolutionary chapter. Write the names of category 1 and 2. So 1 will be monkey is there. So 1 is Cercopithecoidea and 2 is Hominoidea. Mention the 2 important characteristics of organism belong to 2. So it is Hominoidea. Characters are enlarged or well developed brain, freely movable hands and fingers. How does comparative study of hemoglobin helped to identify the evolutionary relationship between man and chimpanzee? So you know that in comparative study, hemoglobin study, it indicates humans and chimpanzee have no differences in amino acid arrangement in the hemoglobin proteins of beta chain, that indicate human nearest ancestor is chimpanzee. When it compare with the gorilla, one amino acid different is there, so it indicate after chimpanzee gorilla will be the most prominent ancestor of humans. And when it compare with the rat, it is 31 amino acid differences, so it indicate a wider relationship between rat as well as a human. So in this way you can answer. That's all about the 19th question. And let's look about the 20th questions. Again it's a box type question. Pancreas is given, pancreas producing hormones, and defects is diabetes, so the hormone will be insulin. So 1 is insulin. 2, the symptoms of diabetes. You can write any symptom, frequent urination or increased hunger and thirst, anyone you can write. Then second one, hypothalamus vasopressin is given, so the defect is diabetes insipidus. So the third one is diabetes insipidus. Symptom, same, frequent urination is the major symptom, or loss of water through urine is another symptom. Then third gland is pituitary. You can write hormone and defect, but symptom is given, growth of bones on the face and jaw. So the pituitary, that the hormone is somatotropin, and the defect is acromegaly, that is the growth of bones in the face and the jaw. So the first one, that is insulin. Second one is presence of glucose in urine, or sorry, the options are given in the below table. So the first one is insulin, and the second one is presence of glucose in urine. Then the third one is vasopressin, so the third one is diabetes insipidus, and the fourth one is frequent urination, and fifth one is somatotropin, and sixth one is acromegaly. Okay, then the 21, it's an endocrine gland question. So the gland is adrenal gland, and name the hormone produced by the part indicated as 1. So 1 is, I think it is 1 is cortex, and 2 is medulla. So cortex producing hormones are cortisol, aldosterone, and sex hormones. So the first question, name the hormone produced by the part indicated as 1 which slow down the action of defense cell. So the answer is cortisol. And B question, then name the two hormone produced by part indicated as 2. So 2 is medulla. Medulla producing hormones are adrenaline and noradrenaline, or epinephrine and norepinephrine. C question, write two important functions of aldosterone. So the main function of aldosterone is water salt balance in kidney, and it can also regulate blood pressure. So these are the two functions of aldosterone. That's all about the 21st question. And then 22 question, explain how body will react to the situations described below. A foreign antigen reaches one's body. When a foreign antigen reaches one's body through blood, first the B lymphocyte identify that antigen and it produce antibody against those antigen and destruct that antigen. So during that process, body temperature will be increased. B question, components of vaccine enter the body. Same happens when vaccine enter into the body. As far as body is concerned, vaccines are considered as antigen. So first of all, the B lymphocyte identify that antigen and it produce antibody. Then this antibody kill that antigen or work against that antigen, and to kill that antigen in different ways. All during that time, body temperature will increases. Then 23rd question is the eye, and you have to name the parts. The part to reflect light rays into the eye, that is cornea, and B, the part that adjusts its size as the intensity of light varies, that is pupil. And C question, the part of retina where plenty of photoreceptors, that is yellow spot or fovea. Plenty of photoreceptors are seen. So that's all about our biology questions. Hope you can understand all these, and best wishes for your next exams. Thank you.